Here's another one. Kennedy's funny as hell. Just by them saying that Kennedy is on talking, dude comes off with some crazy ass shit. Let's hit it.
The violence and the escalation is core to the Trump administration's authoritarian
That's what
plan.
Kennedy says. He always comes off with some crazy shit.
Gas and rubber bullets from this unconstitutional, unlawful administration.
If one wants to fix the immigration laws, which they should be fixed, fix the immigration laws. Don't arrest workers. And what Donald Trump is doing is the fear of America, not the promise of America.
Fucking delusional.
The fear of America. What do you have to say, sir?
Well, number one, I think all those people need to pop a Zoloft and relax a little bit. Number two, I don't think this situation is especially complicated. You don't need to be an astrophysicist to figure it out. We've got a wolf problem in Los Angeles. They're not peaceful protesters, they're wolves. They're hurting people. They're destroying property. So you say, well, where's the governor? Well, the governor is a sheep. He'll tell you, I'm a sheep. He's a sheep in sheep's clothing. He thinks cops are a bigger problem than criminals. So then you say, well, where's the mayor of Los Angeles? Maybe she can stop it. Well, she's a sheep too. More sheep is not going to solve the wolf problem. So the federal government sent in troops, and we're stopping the wolf problem. Last night was a better night, and tonight will be better still. It's not hard to figure out to me, and I think this is what, I think most Americans are looking at this and going, stop the wolves, and a lot of them are thinking, you know, nobody's talking about it, but who's going to pay for all this? You know, who's going to pay for all this destruction? Are we going to get the bill? That's the way I see it.
You know, Senator, it would seem that not all Democrats are in the same boat, the MS outrage. Listen to what Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania said about this. He said, quote, I unapologetically stand for free speech, peaceful demonstrations, and immigration, but this is not that. This is anarchy and true chaos. My party loses the moral high ground when we refuse to condemn setting cars on fire, destroying buildings, and assaulting law enforcement. And now Democrats are calling for demonstrations across the country. It almost looks like they're looking for a repeat of the Summer of Love from 2020.
Well, I think Senator Fetterman has given us some wise advice. We ought to take it. Number two, my Democratic colleagues have a game plan. I don't think it's a very good one, but it's the same game plan we've seen forever. President Trump is a dictator. He's trying to destroy democracy. Now he's trying to take over our cities. And they're trying to convince the American people that that's true. There's just one problem. The American people can see what's going on. It's just like they could see that President Biden had neurodegenerative disease. They can see the riots in Los Angeles. So when the Democrats try to tell them not to believe their lying eyes, nobody believes them. I mean, I think they ought to get a new strategy here. But aside from the politics, Los Angeles is one of the greatest cities in the world. We shouldn't stand by and let the wolves destroy it or devour it.
Sir, I had DHS spokesperson on John's show yesterday. Take a listen. Can you tell us anything about numbers? How many people? What are the crowds like on both sides?
We know last night it was about 6,000 protesters or 6,000 rioters. We're still monitoring the situation today. We have more resources on the ground to ensure that things are peaceful, that American citizens are safe, and that our ICE enforcement officers
I love hearing Kennedy comes off the wall with some fucking
Okay, so there's 6,000 people roughly at any given time out there on the streets, and we are seeing the level of chaos and destruction and violence that we have been showing on our screen this morning. It doesn't really lend itself to this narrative that most of the folks out there are peaceful.
Well, they're not peaceful. I mean, you can see it. I see what you see. The American people see what we both see. They see wolves acting like wolves, and they see sheep like Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass telling the wolves, please stop it, please stop it. Well, the wolves aren't going to stop. And you see the American taxpayer and the good people of California, they're going home. The wolves are taking over. Now, who am I going to call? Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, or a Marine? The good people of Los Angeles are saying, I think I'll take door number 3.
The Marine.
It's not complicated.
Yeah, I was just going to say the district attorney for Los Angeles County, Nathan Hochman, who was on Fox and Friends just a little while ago, says he's going to prosecute these folks to the fullest extent of the law. But some of these people we see hurling bricks at officers from overpasses. They're throwing them at cars as they're passing by. And there are plenty of democratic countries in this world that I can think of where doing something like that, Senator, would get you shot. So there would seem to be a fair degree of restraint being practiced by these officers and these National Guard soldiers.
Well, I don't think we ought to shoot them unless they try to hurt somebody, but I think we ought to put them in jail and give them a long time to think about what they did. And that's the next step. You make a good point, John. You can't just let these folks go. They've got to be prosecuted. And, what you allow is what will continue. Honestly, to me, this is not a complicated situation. It's about law and it's about order. You either support law and order and justice, because without order there is no justice, or you support the wolves. I'm on the side of justice.
And to quote you back to yourself, Senator, there's always Zoloft. Thanks so much for taking time with us this morning.
Yeah.
Zoloft in the world. Senator, good to see you. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
That's some funny shit. Zoloft. Everybody needs some Zoloft.